Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Behavior here again for another episode of Just My Opinion. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. And with this one right here, we are talking Power Book 2 Ghost Season 1, Episode 2, titled Exceeding Expectations. Now, overall, I thought this episode was decent. I was feeling the first episode that came on last week a little bit better than this. But this one does have a few plot points that revealed itself that has me interested on how things are going to turn out in the future. And of course, we're going to talk all about it. Now, this is going to be a spoiler recap. I'm going to spoil this episode up, down, left, right, in and out as if you've already seen it. So if you have not seen the episode, I strongly suggest you subscribe to the channel, click the watch later button, go watch the episode, come back, and then tune in for all the spoilery goodness right here. Just to let you know you have been warned. So let's go ahead and get into it. First off, we got Tasha in jail with these braids and this orange jumpsuit, and she just going crazy, unraveling at the seams, just piling lie on top of lie on top of lie, and she just really not getting it together, and it's really bugging me. Right now, we got Therese outside of jail trying to balance everything with school, trying to, tutor Zeke and find information on his family and do all this stuff, but, help his mom. And, that's something I want to bring up later when it comes to Stern that I think is going to develop later on in this season. But I'm just really not feeling Tasha right now. I think she just needs to get it together, get her story together, and just think of a plan. I mean, she is shooting from the hip right now. Just, I don't know. You have nothing else to do but sit in your cell. So just think things through. She's just throwing stuff against the wall, trying to see if it sticks. And I think she's making a bigger mess, than she's cleaning up. We also have a new character in this episode by the name of Paula Matarazzo. She's working with Method Man. Her real name is Sherry Som. I've never heard of her before, but I think she did a decent job. She's working with Mr. McLean, the lawyer, Tariq's lawyer. So we're going to see how she develops later on in the season. As of now, I really can't say that I like or dislike her character. I mean, she's just cool, and we're just going to have to see how things turn out. So the next scene right here is where we got Zeke and Tariq in the dormitory. And y'all know last week I was talking about how I really wasn't feeling Zeke's character so far. And I felt like, these two characters were going to clash, but maybe not or whatever, because we saw that snippet of him just like, hey, man, I got this other report due. It's due tomorrow, the day after tomorrow. I'm just thinking like, okay, Tariq going to put his foot down and just be like, dude, get the hell on, man. I'm just sick of doing your work. I'll help you, but you got to, you got to take the first step. But that doesn't seem like that's happening this episode. Seems like, Tariq is trying to get close to him and see what's going on. And one thing that I do like about Monet's character, Mary J. Blige, is, I mean, she's not dumb. She knows the game. She knows the rules of the streets and trying to keep a tight knit family and all that good stuff. So she's not trusting Tariq. But let me not fast forward too much. As Zeke is coming out the bathroom, Tariq is just, hey man, where you getting on this fly girl, whatever. And I got the get up he had on was pretty fresh. It was pretty nice. I did like that myself. And he's like, hey man, my mom takes care of me. She got it. She holding me down. And, that's when Tariq is trying to go over to Zeke's house later for dinner. I thought that was a big imposition right there. I'm just like, dang, man. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you're tutoring him for free, doing his homework. So I guess that's not too much. But I don't know. At the time, the delivery of the line, I was like, dang, Tariq. And Zeke was kind of, taking it back too, just like, okay, I'll ask my mom, I asked Monet, see if it's cool or whatever. But later on, we see that they end up over there. But I didn't really think anything was going to come of Zeke, talking about Carrie Milgram, the professor, how attractive she is, but he's really trying to shoot a shot, as Tariq gives him the Moby Dick paper, he's telling him to read it as Zeke is later on in the office, like hitting on her. I'm like, oh, this dude is really trying to shoot a shot or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to hate on you, my brother, but, just backpedal it a little bit. I mean, this is the professor, she does have some, I don't know how old she is. She doesn't look old, but she looks mature. She looks like a woman. She looks good. She looks damn good. And that's something I wanted to talk about because for some reason, like I wasn't looking at her like that last episode. I just wasn't. But this episode, I'm like, oh damn, my sister, you were kind of fine. What's up? If I saw you at Target or wherever store, I would be like, I would try to shoot my shot. Hey, how you doing? Spark up a conversation or whatever. But Zeke is trying to do that too. And, Tariq told him to read the paper because he's like not trying to get caught up or whatever. Clearly he didn't read it. Like, yes, the Gothic novels and the book and the paragraphs are just all really combined. I'm like, I just knew she was going to tear him to shreds. Like, bro, you didn't read the book, but she just took it. I'm just like, really? Okay. I mean, I don't know. And I like Milgram, Professor Milgram so far, but I got to be honest, there's just something about her character that's just a little bit weird to me. I don't know. Her and Jabari, which we'll talk about in just a second, but I don't know. It's just something about her character or her performance. It's just like something's going on. I don't know. I could be tripping, but hey, it is what it is. We'll see. We'll see. Now, the next thing we go is Tariq is. I can't even talk. Tariq is in the classroom, right? He comes in a little bit late, and I don't know what is her name. What was her name? I should have wrote it down. Brushika or something. It was Bruce and something else or whatever. She had some fire up under her. I didn't really think. Everything she had to say was absolutely necessary, but there was some. I don't know. I mean, the white girl said what she had to say, and then the black girl responded, and then the white girl was just like, and she was just like, "You got something to say?" Well, shit, y'all having a debate, ain't you? That's what you're supposed to do in college. So, I mean, she probably could have turned it down just a little bit, but she does seem like she reading the books. Unlike Tariq, so I got to give her that. She's in the canonical studies class. She's smart. I mean, I don't know. I really, it would have been nice to see more of an engagement between the students as far as that topic. But Lauren or whatever, I don't know. That sucks. I know Tariq probably mad at her. Like, really, thanks for embarrassing me. You know what I'm saying? My goodness gracious, I'm trying to bury my father. My mother's in jail and you embarrass me. No, I'm tripping. It sucks. I know she wasn't really trying to challenge him like that in class, but she possibly lost some points right there. But I don't know. Tariq took it in stride or whatever. I know we all know that Lauren wasn't trying to front him out on purpose and embarrass him on purpose, even though that may have seemed that way to the untrained eye. But that was unfortunate, man. And Jabari really does. Well, I don't know if he has something out for Tariq, like Tariq feels that he told Professor Milgram later on in the classroom or in the classroom office. But Jabari is being really tough on Tariq, and it's just something else about his character too that just really kind of I don't know, just kind of weird. But next we have them talking about the eulogy, and McLean wants Tariq to say something bad about his dad to help clear his mom, and he's thinking about doing it, but Stern has different plans. It's like, no, that's not beneficial to us, and I am kind of feeling Stern right now. I mean, I don't like his character, but at the same time I feel that he's being straight up with Tariq, just like, look, this is a business deal. And you always have to think, okay, how is this benefiting me? And it's like, you can do whatever you want to do. If you proceed with the plan that I'm supplying right now, we both can win. We both can eat. If not, I'll still be okay. You won't. I'm not going to lose any money or anything over here. I'm not going to gain any assets, but, I'm not losing out or whatever. And so it's up to you, Tariq. And so Tariq is kind of just like at a crossroad, like, man, do I want to throw my dad up under the bus to save my mom, or do I want to say stuff great about him to save his name and could possibly get me some more money or opportunities this way? And he kind of rides the fence later on in the episode when they're at the funeral, and we'll talk about that. But one thing that did stand out to me was the rest of the conversation that Stern and Tariq were having when he picked up the Great Expectations book, and he was like, yes, I do remember reading this, back in my Stansfield days, back in the day, we only had coffee and cocaine. I kind of chuckled when I saw that scene right there. But I like what he was talking about moral code and ambition of what the book was mainly about. And Stern was like, yeah, and basically that's a code for or manual for poor people. And I was just like, oh snap, And Stern is rich. He's filthy rich. Well, I don't know if he's filthy rich, but he's rich. He can pretty much do what he wants, for the most part. And I don't know. I really just like that conversation right there that they were having. He was also just speaking about his dad, talking about your dad did not realize that his ambition was his code, and he was always at war with himself. And I don't know, that just really stood out to me. And Tariq also said, he said it, he put his chest out there like, I'll do anything to save my mom. I really think that's going to come back and kind of bite Tariq in the ass, because we know Stern is all about himself. And so I think, I don't know, later on in the season, he's just gonna set Tariq up somewhere and just be like, hey man, I need you to do this. If you don't do it, your mom is gonna suffer. You did say that you would do anything to save your mom, so here are your choices, here are your options. I don't know. And actually Tariq said that twice. I can't remember exactly the other place that he said it in the episode off the top of my head. I think it was in jail when he was actually talking to his mom, Tasha. It's like, I'll do anything to save you. But I really think that, Stern is not a good guy. I mean, I like his honesty right now, but we can't trust Stern or whatever. And so, but I am feeling him right now. But a character that I'm not feeling right now, even though he kind of, well, no, he didn't. I'll get to that. But it's Braden, the white boy that used to, push weight with Tariq at Choate or whatever. He goes there now. We found out that he's a Weston, built the swimming pool and the swimming pool in the auditorium, and he's able to use name recognition, his privilege to get his brother out of a situation at the frat house. But that's just really stands out to me, the privilege that they have. Just like, oh, do you really just know how I am? You punching cops and or security guards in the face. And I mean, it's just funny. Just I'm a West End, and it's like, yeah, F you and let's party. It's just like, wow. But I wonder. I don't. Tariq definitely should not trust Braden. I just stay away from him. That's just gonna be more problems for you, bro. You already got enough on your plate right now for killing your damn daddy and your mama taking the heat for it. And so I know that Braden, wants to push weight. Hey, we can make a lot of money, and what's better than pussy and all this stuff. And when they were at the frat party, they was asking for some type of drugs, and he was like, "Hey, man, I'm out." That's why Braden was like, "Man, we can make a killing right here." So, I mean, it is an opportunity, but I don't think that Tariq should take advantage of it or whatever. I think Braden is a distraction, and he should tread lightly. We're talking about Tariq right now. But let me just talk about a dumb decision from Monet. Now, I'm feeling the character of Monet, but still, Mary J. Blige's acting right now is just still not up to par, in my opinion. It's not just horrible, but it's not good either. It stands out from the rest of the cast in the show. She is the sore thumb standing out as far as the acting is concerned. I like her character as far as the way she moves. What makes her tick, what makes her talk, her strategy, her planning, her thought process, her mindset. I like that, but I'm not really feeling the acting. But one thing I'm not really feeling right now is, why are you smashing cops at the crib? That don't make no goddamn sense right there. You got enough money to go get a room or go somewhere else than the damn house. What are you doing? I mean, am I missing something? Were they somewhere else? Were they at his crib? Another thing that I don't like about this, okay, Mary J., if you don't want to show your breast or your body or whatever, I get it. But I hate when couples are in bed after they having sex or whatever. Y'all, I mean, really, yes, some women are shy and but a lot. You know what I'm trying to say, okay? Stop with the little cover thing hanging over your thing right there, your chest right after you got done having sex. It just don't make sense. And plus, you had a bra on. We could see the straps. So it's just not a realistic bedroom scene to me. It's just kind of annoying. And you put on a robe later, okay, you can still sell the scene that y'all slept together and you not have to do the fake cover up. You could just be walking out the bathroom and have a robe on, which you put on later. The audience be able to pick up that, okay, I'm sure they just had sex and they didn't cuddle with each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get it. And so that just, I mean, I get annoyed with that in any type of movie, TV show or whatever. I even talked about that in the last Tyler Perry movie, A Fall from Grace, which was a hot piece of mess garbage of a film. But anyway, we got this dude right here that's a cop that she's having relations with, and she's talking about you need to hurry up and because Kane is coming, could be home and stuff like that. Later on he's giving her the snitch papers on Uncle Frank, and bringing bottles and stuff, and it's just like I don't know. She doesn't feel like she has protection. This dude is promising her in the world, and she's like, you told me that you would give me more than what's Tejada or whatever. I think that's his name. But you're not protecting me, and well, later on we saw Kane pulling up or whatever, and so with the like he pulling up to the house. It just you got it's not an unmarked car. It's a police vehicle. I don't understand that. It really it doesn't make sense to me. Now, just from a storytelling point of view, I like the montage that we have coming up. Where you have Method Man's character, Attorney McLean, and also what is her name, Paula Matarazzo in one office, but then you have John Knox, Sachs, and then the other guy in the other office, and they're going back and forth, switching back scene to scene, trying to determine how they're going to take Tasha out with this Queen Pin case. And them switching back and forth, the dialogue going back and forth, that just whole dynamic or whatever. I just thought that was very effective. It helped us, the progress the story forward, this episode forward, and I just really like it. It really it stood out to me. Now that was just like, some of the best combinations with scenes of the episode to me, and possibly my favorite part. But right after this, we just get more of the snaky weasel of Sachs. I mean, this dude cannot be trusted. He's dirty. He's very corrupt. He's slimy. I mean, like, I just don't like him. I want something to happen to him. And he's just extremely, extremely desperate, He's trying to call that dude in there. I mean, John Knox gave him, he's like, okay, if we can do this, man, I'll give you a limited resources, a limited budget to, bring this down. You can hire any investigator that you want. He's bringing in this other investigator. It's like, bro, I'm not trying to get involved with you, man. You was fired and then rehired 2 weeks. I mean, you're not about justice. I'm about a book. I'm not trying to get caught up with none of this crap. Leave me alone. You know what I'm saying? He good. And I don't blame him because Sass cannot be trusted or whatever. So that's that. But let's go and get into some nitty gritty real quick. You know what I'm saying? With Professor Milgram and Mr. Jabari as they end up hooking up in the office. Now, at the very beginning of the scene, I was like, Jabari, man, it is so clear that you still have the hots for this woman. I mean, you are frustrated and flustered up to the ceiling, man. It's just like, bruh. And he was annoying me a little bit because I'm just like, bro, you're bitter. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're holding the chip on your shoulder, just like, because you don't like me. I'm going to talk to you like this, and I'm just like, I mean, come on, man. We can't react like that. Even if you do have a chance of getting back with her, the way you're acting is not going to help. But actually, I was wrong because he ended up getting the draws. I mean, he really did because she's not over him either. I thought that I didn't really, last episode, I didn't think that she was over him, but I didn't think that they was going to get back together this early on in the season, episode 2. I thought it may happen later on, and I would have been disappointed that, if they didn't, but they did in this episode, and they still have a lot of passion for each other, and I mean, he, and it's funny because, you can tell that he really cares about her. You can tell that she really does care about him. They didn't show the sex scene, but they have a past. And then like the next scene right here, she has some type of sponsor that's helping her out and helping her with the steps. I didn't know who she was at first, but she's just like, hey, you can't do this. And I mean, what I like about Megan right here is that she's trying to speak her truth. She's like, what if he's the one? What if she's my person? And so I'm just like, okay, yeah, great. If y'all are in love, y'all are both educated, seems like stand-up people, be together, marry each other, create a strong black family. I'm totally with that. So I don't understand why the sponsor just like, no, he's no good, or, don't come to me for help if you're just going to go back, so I got to see what she's about or whatever, because she's throwing shade and all types of hate. And that's just something that I'm not really feeling right there. But now the beginning of the episode catches up to us to where when Tariq and Zeke actually come out with a spinoff show for that. Tariq and Zeke were in the dorm. He was asking, hey, can I come over later? And now we're popping up at Monet's house and they're having dinner. And again, Monet's character, I said Monique, I think. Monet's character I like, but the acting is just not where I want it to be right now. But it's cool. I like the fact that, she throwing parties for her family. She's, eating dinner at the table. They just spend family time together. I can always respect that. But Uncle Frank pops up, just smiling ear to ear. And it's clear, to Tariq and Monet that he's possibly a snitch. I found it absolutely disgusting what he said to Deanna, Princess Deanna, like, oh, I love the way how you filled out. Like, bruh, what are you doing? That's just so inappropriate and disgusting. But yeah, it's just how some people are in the world. Now, I do like the confrontation that Kane had with Tariq the next scene when he was trying to drive him back to the dormitory. And it's like, I don't know you or whatever. And Uncle Frank's a snitch and all that. And Tariq is spitting that game or whatever. And, I like that. And Diana comes through later on, at the dorm, just like, I'm impressed. This and that. But at the same time, I like the fact that Monet is really not trusting Tariq. She's like, wait a minute. She goes and wakes up Zeke talking about, bruh, did you invite him over? Did he want to come over? We need to know everything about him. And that goes also into the part where, like in another promo material, her character, Monet, was like, anytime somebody deals with Tariq, they are dead or end up in jail, or just hurt. Or actually, I think she may not have said that. That's what the uncle said at the end of the episode, which I'll talk, Uncle Gabe, for Ghost's uncle, St. Patrick's uncle that showed up at the end of the funeral. But even on that point right there, y'all know that's why I like the whole first show, just Power itself, because it was just showing the main theme or the moral of the story is if you live this life, you're going to end up dead or in jail. It's not glorifying drugs. It's just telling the story of drugs, that lifestyle, and how you'll end up dead or in jail. So this is one of the main reasons why I keep watching the show and enjoying it myself. But what's his name? Uncle Frank ends up dead or whatever, and they chopping off legs or whatever. So they killing people in the first episode, in episode 1, and they're killing people in episode 2. And Kane has been doing this for a long time. We can tell because he's just he's smiling when he kills people. He doesn't shed a tear or anything like that. Teasing. He's chopping off legs and throwing them in beer kegs or containers or whatever, like he's making a sandwich or something. I'm like, my goodness gracious, man, that's crazy, crazy, crazy. But hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. But I'm pretty sure it's going to get much, much bloody later on. And yeah, we're going to see how that plays out. Something else I'm really interested in seeing is like this relationship that Tasha is building up right here with her inmates, because there's somebody else with that's requesting morning after pills, and at later on at the funeral we see that Tasha's trying to get some currency as far as all that's concerned. But now we have the funeral, and I just want to go ahead and get this out of the way. We did not see the body. We did not see Ghost's body, but we did see the casket go in the ground. If I'm tripping and they did show the body, let me know in the comment section. But I'm like, oh, we did not see the body. So could Ghost still be alive? Tune in for the next episode of Power Book. No, I'm teasing. Maybe he could. And also, I was wondering if Tommy Egan was going to show up at the funeral, but he didn't. He's in the wind right now. And so one of the things that stood out to me is the lame ass guards, how they was rough handling Tasha. Whatever. Shut up, don't talk. No talking, inmate. Like, sit down somewhere, bro. It's like you can just tell that you're having fun roughing up people or whatever. So you suck. I don't like you at all. But this is where Gabe shows up. Now I can't remember if he showed up in the first show, but I like the conversation that he was having with Tariq and try to set him on a straight path on how he should handle the eulogy. And I think that Tariq did a great job, kind of riding the fence, talking about, how he is the manifestation of something that his father could never be. I'm learning more about my father now after he's gone. It was touching. I don't necessarily believe Tariq. I think he's a con man lying. He's just running a game, but it's working. And this is also where Tate popped up as well. I kind of forgot about him. And so, he's a weasel too. I'm not in love with this character, but we're going to see how he develops. And I mean, we have a handful of new characters in this show, and we have a handful of old characters. And I like how they're mixing everything. I really, really do. The hearing that they had in the judge's office, I found interesting as well. How they had Sullivan on the stand right there. It's just so blatantly obvious to everybody that Sax is up to no good and that he's a slimy weasel. And so I hope he pays the price. He's just so damn annoying to me. But at first I was like, oh, that's Paz, but it's not Paz. It's Blanca Rodriguez, the detective. I forgot about her. And that just goes to show like how they keep bringing characters back. And I like how everything is just tied up because like even when the story ends, I mean, what happens to the rest of the characters, you know? Tariq could end up dead too, like his daddy, you know? So, I mean, you know, the episode, it started out, it ended better than it started out for me. I'm really eager to see how things are going to turn up. We end up seeing that, you know, Tasha does get the cell phone in the prison and with the morning after pill. And so, you know, a lot of loose ends right here that opened up that I can't wait that are tied off towards the end of the season. And so while I was feeling episode 1 a little bit more than episode 2, I think this is still a great episode. I'm still interested in seeing how things are turning out. While I really just wasn't feeling Monet in the first episode, she, you know, I'm liking her character a lot more now, just how she's just trying to be strategic and not trusting anybody and has her guard up. But we still have to do something about Mary J. Blige's acting. But as far as McLean is concerned, Method Man, I think he's doing a pretty decent job. And so, you know, guys, that will conclude my recap for episode 2. So that is just my opinion. Did you like the episode? Which episode did you like more better, 1 or 2? Do you have a favorite character so far? Do you have a favorite scene so far? You know, what was the thing that you hated about this episode, if anything at all? Please let me know down in the comment section below. Let's get this conversation going and keep it flowing. If you like this video, please go ahead and give me the thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel, guys, and look me up on social media. But again, guys, I just want to thank you so much for tuning in. And before you go, don't forget to always chase your dreams, because I'm chasing mine. My name is Brandon Keith Avery, and that's just my opinion. Peace.